Every single day, your kidneys are pulling off this absolute miracle that most of us never even think about. They're the master purifiers of your body, constantly filtering your blood, deciding what to keep, what to toss out, and maintaining that perfect balance that keeps us all going. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this incredible biological machine. So to really wrap your head around the scale of this operation, just look at this number, 180 liters. That's almost 50 gallons. That's the staggering amount of blood plasma your kidneys process every single day. We're talking enough to fill a bathtub. Okay, so that right there is the big question, isn't it? If we're filtering a bathtub's worth of fluid, but we only produce, a liter or two of urine, where does the other 99% of it go? Well, the answer is hidden inside millions of microscopic, high-tech filters in your kidneys. Okay, let's dive into this. And let's meet the hero of our story, the nephron. Your kidneys are jam-packed with more than 1 million of these tiny, complex structures. The nephron isn't just a part of the kidney, it is the kidney, functionally speaking. It's the little workhorse, the factory floor where this whole amazing 3-step process of making urine actually happens. You see, this whole purification process isn't just one simple action. It's this beautiful 3-act play. First up, you've got glomerular filtration. That's the massive first sort. Then comes tubular reabsorption, which is all about reclaiming the good stuff. And finally, tubular secretion, the last-minute garbage disposal. Let's break down each one. Let's kick things off with the first, and honestly, the most dramatic step. This is where the initial large-scale separation happens. Think of it as a brute force operation driven by pure physics. The official name is glomerular filtration. Now, the 2 words you really want to remember here are non-selective and high pressure. See, inside each nephron, there's this special little ball of capillaries called the glomerulus, and it's a high-pressure zone, unlike anywhere else in the body. That pressure literally just squeezes water and a bunch of small stuff right out of the blood and into the start of the nephron tube. Think of it exactly like a coffee filter. The water and all the small things dissolved in it, like sugar, salts, amino acids, and of course waste products, they all pass right through. But the big stuff, the really important things like your proteins and your red and white blood cells, way too big. They can't fit through the pores, so they stay behind in the blood, right where they belong. So what you have now, this liquid that's been squeezed out, is called filtrate. And at this point, it's pretty much a perfect copy of your blood plasma, just minus those big protein molecules. So great, we've successfully filtered 180 liters of this stuff. But there's a problem. It's filled with valuable resources we absolutely cannot afford to just pee away. Okay, so that first step was all about brute force, right? Just push everything out. But now, the system gets super smart, super selective. Step 2 is all about meticulously combing through that massive volume of filtrate and taking back everything the body needs to keep. And this is called tubular reabsorption. The body has to pull back almost all of that water, 100% of the nutrients like glucose and amino acids, and just the right amount of salts and ions it needs to function. I mean, this is a massive, absolutely critical recovery mission. And here's the crucial part. This is not a passive process. The cells that line the nephron's tubule, they are actively working, they're burning energy to grab these specific valuable substances out of the filtrate and shuttle them back into your bloodstream. All the glucose, all the amino acids, and about 99% of the water get painstakingly pulled back. And while this reabsorption happens along the whole length of the tube, the real heavy lifting, the vast majority of it, happens right at the beginning. It's in a section called the proximal convoluted tubule, or just the PCT. That's where most of the good stuff is saved from being lost forever. All right, so we've filtered the blood, we've reclaimed all the good stuff, but there's one last thing to do, a final quality control check. This is to make sure no unwanted junk got left behind in the blood. It's the final toxin toss. This final step is called tubular secretion, and it's basically reabsorption in reverse. Instead of pulling things out of the filtrate, the tubule cells actively grab specific waste products and excess stuff directly out of the blood surrounding them and purposefully dump them into the filtrate. This is a super targeted disposal system. It's how your body gets rid of things that might have been too big to get filtered out in the first step, like certain drugs or other compounds. It's also how the body fine-tunes your blood chemistry, actively getting rid of excess potassium or hydrogen ions to keep your blood pH perfectly balanced.
And this just lays it out perfectly. You've got this two-way traffic going on. Reabsorption is all about saving the valuables, moving them from the filtrate back to the blood. Secretion is about tossing the trash, moving waste from the blood right into the filtrate.
So let's put it all together and just marvel at the result of this three-step masterpiece. We're about to see how the kidneys take an absolute flood of fluid and refine it, concentrate it, and turn it into a mere trickle. Remember where we started with this enormous number? 180 liters of filtrate, churned out every single day by that first step, glomerular filtration. But then, through that meticulous, energy-hungry process of tubular reabsorption, the body reclaims an absolutely astonishing 99% of that initial fluid, pulling back all the water and nutrients it fought so hard to get in the first place. And that leaves us with the final product. After all that filtering, reabsorbing, and secreting, that massive 180-liter flood has been concentrated down to just about 1.5 liters of final urine, now packed with all the wastes your body needs to get rid of. It's just incredible efficiency. This quote really just sums up the entire journey perfectly, doesn't it? You start with a liquid that is almost identical to your blood plasma, but by the end of its trip through the nephron, it is a completely different substance, stripped of everything useful and concentrated with only what needs to be thrown away. So the next time you think about your body's amazing functions, just remember that intricate, non-stop purification plant working inside you 24/7. It's not just about getting rid of waste. It's about active, intelligent management of your entire internal environment. It really makes you appreciate just how critical this incredible balancing act is to your overall health and, well, your very survival.